Hello everybody, my name is Gamer Guys, so welcome back to Ultra Custom Night. Last year, I completed 220, which is worth 40,000 points in Ultra Custom Night. And at the end of the video, I intended, when I was scrolling to show you the roster, I said that I was going to create a video explaining how the run went. So, 1 year later, I'm going to do that. So, here we are. Before we start it, what I want you to do is an Ultra Custom Night. If you click right here, this is the browser. What I want you to do, I want you to type 6283 for 40,000 points. Now, clicking on this will download it to your saved challenges, your saved custom challenges. From here, if you click load challenges and you click 40,000 points as parentheses Gamer Gus, you can be able to load up 220. Now, do keep in mind that this is going to be easier than 50-20. 50-20 is a lot harder given the fact that a lot of characters overlap with each other with their different mechanics. 220 has a lot of characters that do nothing if you do the simple UCN only flip for ventilation strat. I'll explain it further when we get into watching it, which is going to happen right now. So we're going to mute that. So here is 40,000 points. Now, I want to preference this by saying this set is harder than the one that you have downloaded. As you can see, Golden Freddy is not turned on. That's because I have a lot more characters, such as the Crying Child. You can even turn on Stage 01 Crew, which I didn't do. But I have a lot more characters that do indeed affect the mask. So the ratio between characters that affect the mask in the office is way bigger than characters that need to use the mask and are easy to deal with. So it's more or less better to have characters that don't need to deal with the mask. So here is the challenge. So right as I load in, I'm going to... right as I load in, I click space to turn off my fan and click 1 to turn on the power generator. This is important. The fan, similar to how there are more characters that do a lot of stuff with the mask compared to characters that you have to deal with using the mask, when it comes to the temperature, there are basically two different types of characters that deal with the temperature. There are characters that get agitated when the temperature is really high, up to 120, or characters that are mad whenever it's 60 degrees. And since there's a lot more characters also that disable the fan, there are a lot more characters that you can have on. So it's better to have characters on that disable the fan and characters that get agitated when it's 60 degrees. Because since the fan is off, the temperature is going to rise to 120. So I turn the fan off, I turn the power generator on as soon as I load in. I flip up into the cameras, I go to the duct system, and I place an audio lure to the left right here. This is Adventure Nightmarion. Similar to how Nightmarion is in The Office, where if your mouse hovers over him, he'll slowly appear. This is basically the same, but it's only in the cameras. And we only have to deal with the cameras for a little bit. So, we go to the duct system, and I place an audio lure specifically right here. The way that the duct system works is that there are two entries over here. There's one entrance down, and then it splits off to the left and right. There's also corners up here, so they can go over here. And since this duct is always open, their AI is gonna go all the way to the duct. So, if we place an audio lure there, that's going to make it so then they don't appear on there. And that makes it so then... It makes it so then they get distracted by the audio lore. Specifically, characters like Endo01, Happy Frog, Pig Patch, Pig Patch, and Mr. Hippo. Then I switch back to the cameras, and I select Cam 2, which is, like, right over here. So, turn off the fan, turn on the power generator, put the audio lore on the left side, go to the cam system, and I click here on the second camera on floor 1. This will stall. This is a technique called cam stalling. Not that many characters, surprisingly, out of the 873 characters in Ultra Custom Night, actually use the mechanic cam stalling. Now, there's a small sort of characters that can use cam stalling, and Cam 2 with these characters on have the most that you can stall. By simply having Cam 2 selected, the game will not trigger a jump scare when you flip up the cameras for those respective characters. The respective characters being Rockstar Chica, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Mangle, and Circus Baby, who appear in the right hall, and as long as you're looking at Cam 2, they will not kill you when you flip the cameras. So ignore the mask. And once I'm finally done with the cam setup, I click all the modes over here, which is XOR. You have to get all those modes in order to be able to continue on past 1 a.m. And they're like, they raise the temperature, they take away tokens, they like take away power, but it's not that bad. So from here, I click on Adventure Cupcake, which just has a random chance of appearing on the desk after you flip down. This is mainly just like what happens when you flip down the cameras. And I flash Nightmare BB, who has a Bonnie skin on. Now this gets rid of Lives Guy, who was up here. Now basically, Lives Guy has this counter, and if this counter reaches 0 before you die to a lethal animatronic, then he will kill you. So you basically just have to die to a character very fast. And Nightmare BB is very easy to die to because you just flash the light. There I flashed the light on Freddles. Here I get jump scared by Mapbot, who messes up your cameras. The way that Mapbot works is that your cameras, when you try to switch to other cameras, will mess up. Like, if you click on the prize counter, you'll go to Toy Freddy's camera. But if you click on Toy Freddy's camera, you go to the prize counter on the button. But since we don't have to move around the cameras, it's fine. So here I click on Cassette Man, which is just like another phone guy. Now, the Cassette Man do a lot of things. So there's a whole set of characters that are just like Phone Guy. Phone Guy from UCN, he just creates a lot of noise if you don't mute the call. Phone Dude, who has a green mute call button, will disable all of your systems when you don't click mute call, which is very hazardous because one of the systems is audio systems, which will, when disabled, will disable the audio lore, causing the characters to come to the vent and kill you. So that basically means that a lot of the phantom animatronics you can't get jump scared by unless they are luck based. Because if you get jump scared by a specific phantom animatronic that specifically depletes your audio devices, then the duck animatronics are going to be free. And you can't switch over to get the ducks again because, you know, so much crap is going on, and it's just bad. You don't want that to happen. You don't click on that free gift boxes thing because that will just flip up the cameras and enter inside of the GPS, which will mess everything up. I muted the Tape Girl button. I muted Tape Girl, which appears like on a purple mute call. It's supposed to be like a cassette tape, like you stop the cassette tape. And if she gets through, then she will deplete your fast coins, which is going to be important later. So this is Purple Guy, but there's a skin on, so he looks like the Minecraft skeleton. if you touch this arrow, then you'll deplete 5% of your power. Here, oh my god. Here is, oh my god. Here is Adventure Bonnie, who is making music, you know, in the middle. He has a skin on, so he does papyrus music. You unlock that after the campaign mode. And as long as you right-click on the character that has a skin, you can be able to toggle through the skins, and that's just better than his default one. Font type Chica doesn't matter as long as you have special effects turned off. This is Lolbit, Fazbear Entertainment, but he has a skin on, so it makes it look like Fazbear Entertainment, so you just type LOL. Here's the, puppet, the sock puppet from Freddy in Space 2. You just click on it. If it makes it all the way over to the right screen, then you would die. That was the haunting dude from FNAF World. If your cursor hits that, then it'll freeze to this part of the screen. That was Hand Unit. Hand Unit is another phone guy clone. If you don't mute his call, then he will create a lot of noise and will have you do tasks in the task system, which is bad. So mostly I just keep my mouse in the middle here, and I just flash Funtime Phantom Freddy, just so that he doesn't jump scare me. I can't have the flashlight on for too long, otherwise Virtual Phantom Freddy over here will appear, and once he fully appears, he will kill you. UCN, here are all my consequences. I just spam C in order to be able to catch his fish, otherwise he will lock my, camera. Here is Meme Jump Scare. Now, he is in the UCN section. If you turn him on, every single time that you collect your 9th Faz coin, so the game will keep like a counter of if you get your 9th Faz coin. So, if you get 18 Faz coins, that's a multiple of 9. If it's a multiple of 9 of Faz coins that you have, a random effect will appear on your screen that will completely cover your screen. This will, like, you know, be like Lucky Flannel was at the bite of 87, Daco crying at the end of 5020, Matt Passine, I just whipped a Nene. That was Game Over Freddy. When his Game Over screen appears, you have to click and enter. Don't left click, otherwise he will kill you. So I had to mute that. So there was event reset. So now, I want to make this clear. You do not at all flip up the cameras anyway until you need to do a ventilation. Here was safe. Okay, we're not going to talk about it yet. There, I clicked on Nightmare Freddy's little 6 a.m. alarm. And this will, like, wake you up. And for a couple seconds, this just gets you to breathe. You can be able to breathe during this. And then you get back into it. And when you have to get back into it, you have to click the power generator again. Keep that in mind. Here is Rainbow Freddy from Quid. You have to click on him. He has a skin on that makes him look like the developer of this game. Here's Easter Bonnie. Around here, his egg will spawn. You have to click on it before he kills you. Here is Bonnet. You have to click on her nose before she makes it all the way to the left side. That was Ballora. Ballora will appear on any side of your doors, and you have to shut that respective door when she comes to that door, and it'll make it all dark. In the settings, if you go to, God, I forgot, but in the settings, if you look around, I think it's like visuals or something, you can be able to activate a detector, which will blare, like, white effects to show you which side she's on in case you're having trouble with that. So these balls appear because, like, the ball pit falls down because tape appears, you know, because, like, tape falls down because the tape holding her up on the ceiling gets removed if the temperature is too much. I turn her off in this version of the version that you uploaded, that you downloaded, so you don't have to deal with that. Now it's the sound of microwave blowing up. That's fine. That was Foxy. Foxy advertises Foxy Fighters. El Chip also advertises. That's just like whatever. You just click enter in order to be able to remove that. So here we're going to do event reset. Now, when you do event reset, before this will indicate that you have to do event reset. If you just leave it and it goes dark, you will eventually pass out or just die to a random character. Here, I close both doors in order to be able to check for Remade Freddy, which is just Freddy from UCN, and Dreadbear. And Remade Freddy's on the left side, and Dreadbear's on the right side. I just listen for a knock, or just keep the doors closed for a little bit. So as you can see, the Faz coins went up. That went up 2 times, so that meant I got both of them. Then I click the vent door, and then I press 3 in order to be able to turn on the heater, which will obliterate Endo02, Nedbear, and Orville the Elephant in the docks. That will send them back, and I basically have it on when I do event reset. Now, the big thing during vent resets is that when you close the top vent, you might block characters that give you Faz coins. Now, whenever you block a character at a door, they will give you a Faz coin. Now, of course, meme jump scare, if your Faz coins are a multiple of 9, they will flash this up. So during a vent reset, you have to memorize where the ventilation error reset is. So, if it's like this. So, remember, it's at the top left right here. You can still click it. So, you have to memorize that it's like right over here. So, like, kind of at the top of this door. During this one. And then you have to take the door off. Take the cameras off. Here, Monty spawned. I just click one of these. He'll disappear. So, I open the vent and I turn on the power generator. This white rabbit thing is nothing. This is just for the mask system. Something. You don't have to worry about that. I also close the bottom right vent in order to be able to block BB, JJ, Adventure BB, Adventure JJ, and Brow Boy. If any of them get in, they'll disable a specific thing. One of them disables the audio lures, don't want that, so you basically just always have to do that after each event reset, because those characters will appear after event reset. Also, when you flip with the cameras, Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare may spawn in the either left or right side of the office. You could just wait for the next event reset, and when you check for Freddy or Dreadbear, you can close both doors in order to be able to clear them off. I also press 4 in order to be able to turn on the power AC in order to be able to deter these guys. So these are like the pumpkin patch dudes. They appear whenever it's Halloween on in the old FNAF games. If this dude appears underneath the desk, then that means that the next camera flip, they're going to jump scare me, and they're going to force me to flip down the cameras. So I basically just have to do that. For that. Other than that, click enter for El Chip's ad. He had a skin on. There are a couple stuff that does appear during certain times. So that sound, be sure he stepped through the heart of madness, was Foxy.exe whenever he speaks one of his 3 lines. I'm gonna challenge myself. I play a lot of FNAF World, so I know his lines. Be sure to step through the heart of madness. When you can see, wait a minute. Whenever he says his lines, you have to close the bottom right vent. If you don't, then he kills you. So here, whenever Adventure Crime Child appears on the desk, I also have to click him, otherwise the next cam flip he will force me into my mask. Here, this Endo dude will appear. It's called Beta Endo. And whatever his eye color is, you have to click a specific number. So, the modes are already from 1 through 6. The keys that you have to click for him are 7, 8, 9, and 0. Now, depending on which color he is, his color eyes he is, you'll have to click a respective number for it. Since they're blue, I click 8, which will do Bonnie. So, and from 7, 8, 9 to 0, it's just going to be Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. So I click 7 for white, 8 for blue, 9 for yellow, and 0 for red. So Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. If you could be able to know what color that corresponds to that character, and you click that respective key. Because remember, 7, 8, 9, 0, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. That's all you gotta remember. Freddos, in case they appear, you can hear them, but they don't really appear. This is Rockstar Freddy, and he'll randomly activate when you flip up. Since you get a lot of fast coins from the vents and remade Freddy and Dreadbear and the bottom right vent, you can easily pay as 5 coins. It's basically no deal.
Oh, you know what? Nobody likes you!
I just simultaneously whipped a nay-nay.
You wanna win?
Please take this
Too bad.
Yeah, bro, all of them, it's... That was a lucky can flip that the meme jump scare didn't appear. Now, I do have to preface this. Nightmare BB is very much easier than if he has this Bonnie skin on. He only has one skin, it's the Bonnie skin. Because he will, like, be frantic when he appears. Like that, so you could be able to easily see that. So, Bonbon appeared there, and I clicked on her, but Phantom Freddy was also there. Now, Phantom Freddy has a random chance of disabling either your cam systems or your audio systems. So here, I'm basically begging him not to disable the audio systems. And those jaws were Nightmare Chica. I just clicked the power AC, similar to the pumpkins. Anyways, I'm begging Phantom Freddy not to disable my audio lures. In which he will not. He only disabled my cam system, which is a god save. And that was pretty easy. So, you know. I like to think that my cat Sally did it. She compelled her.
Don't get distracted.
My cat compels you. She did. So that song that plays is Negate Bonnie. Now, when that plays when it's 3 a.m. You have to click 2 in order to be able to activate the silent ventilation. And then, once it goes away, that's when you know that he's done with. Here, at the top right over here, there was a Withered Foxy. That's Virtual Withered Foxy. When you flip on the cameras, there's a random chance that either Virtual Withered Foxy will be there or Virtual Foxy will be there. That's a reference to Help Wanted because blah blah blah. You have to flash Virtual Withered Foxy, but don't flash Virtual Foxy. Virtual Foxy is just Foxy, and Virtual Withered Foxy is just Withered Foxy. The mask doesn't really matter. Now, an interesting thing, if this shows up when you're doing a cam flip, you just have to click on this plushie right there in order to be able to do ventilation. So that's what I've learned.
Hi, please take this map.
Remember, you have to do that for you have to do the whole heater and top vent thing every single time you do ventilation. Now, here, I basically flash the light on the AR Golden Freddy. When he's sitting, he'll take like 5% power, but when he's standing and you don't flash the light, then he will kill you. But you just flash him either way. This is Helpy, but he has a Among Us skin on. You just click him. Click this guy, flash this dude. This is Virtual Bonnet. If you don't, then he'll just jump scare you and disable your fan. Luckily, the fan's already disabled.
Hi, please take this map.
Now, this is kind of funny. Since this was up, I couldn't really see where Yellow Bear's eyes were open, so I had to just blindly put the mask on. So here, this crying child will appear. This is Mark's 4 a.m.
Please take this.
This was a cease and desist letter because Mario, in quotes, was in your night and Nintendo wanted to sue you. It'll automatically get paid off if you have like the required fast coins. As long as you mute Tape Girl, you could be able to get that.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-doop. This is impossible. You want to win?
Hi.
Too bad.
Map. Hi. Please take this map.
Oh, you know what? Nobody likes you.
Also,
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-doop.
so I also obviously I need to address the elephant in the room. This dude is Mechaplier, I think that's his name. He's from Freddy in Space 2, and he will cover up your time. Now, the time isn't really that important, so you can be able to cover it up. He's the dude that's talking, you know. If you've ever watched Markiplier, you'll be able to recognize all the things he's saying.
Slightly sassy.
Please take this map.
Purple guy. You want to win?
Did I mention this? But I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but the nights are also longer. They're like a couple minutes longer. Normally 1 hour in the time is 45 seconds, so you know, the time it will end at 5:30. But this character that's like funny moments, called funny moments, he increases the hour to 52, so each hour is 52 seconds. Whatever it is, you know, correlates to when time will end. But of course, Markiplier is covering up, so you can't really see it. So I accidentally had to flip the cameras again, because I didn't hit the reset ventilation. This meant that I let in JJ, which disabled my doors.
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-doop.
Luckily, it was JJ. And yeah. Then I closed that.
Hi. Please take this map.
This is impossible.
That's it. That, my friend, is 220 UC Ultra Custom Night. 220 Ultra Custom Night. And with that. And then, when you get this, you'll get Rainbow Freddy. Now, all these trophies, just look up, there's a very, good wiki out there called the Ultra Custom Night Wiki. Details what every single character is in the game. And, you know, their origins and stuff like that. They do have a section about the trophy room, how you can be able to unlock all the trophies. Some of them are mini games and stuff. But yeah, this is Ultra Custom Night. 40,000 points. Let's do a quick overview of all the characters that will be added. All the characters that you're gonna have on. Thanks, Moon. So all of the dudes that we have on for 40,000 points, hold on. These are all the characters needed in the 40,000 point run. They're all pretty easy. I'll scroll down very slowly. You can be able to recognize some of these dudes. I do have a lot of skins on, but the most important skins that I think that you should have on are this Bonnie skin for Nightmare BB. You don't have to have these skins on. You have to have this skin on, because this is my profile picture. You just simply right click on the characters in order to be able to toggle their skins. But yeah, a lot of the I add a lot more characters that require the mask. I think these two were like the last additions that really sell this run. I did put on a lot of characters that I needed in order to be able, that disabled the mask and stuff in order to be able to complete it. Some characters, I activate and they do nothing. I don't know why. They have a detailed thing, but they just don't do anything. I don't know why, but anyways, this is Ultra Custom Night 40,000 points. And yeah, that's how I did it. And as always, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, good night.